Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming along to this channel to work through our workbook, A Course in Miracles. Today we are on lesson 331, which means we are in section 12 of part 2. That means we are working through what is the ego. We're going to be understanding that in these next 10 lessons. So I'm going to read through what is the ego first, then we're going to read through the lesson. All the links are under this video so that when you're ready to carry out the practice today, all the information is there right at the touch of your fingers. Okay, so let's get started with what is the ego. The ego is idolatry, the sign of limited and separated self, born in a body doomed to suffer and to end its life in death. It is the will that sees the will of God as enemy and takes a form in which it is denied. The ego is the proof that strength is weak and love is fearful. Life is really death, and what opposes God alone is true. The ego is insane. In fear it stands beyond the everywhere, apart from all, in separation from the infinite. In its insanity it thinks it has become a victor over God himself. And in its terrible autonomy, it sees the will of God has been destroyed. It dreams of punishment and trembles at the figures in its dreams, its enemies who seek to murder it before it can ensure its safety by attacking them. The sons and daughters of God are egoless. What can they know of madness and the death of God when they abide in him? What can they know of sorrow and of suffering when they live in eternal joy? What can they know of fear and punishment, of sin and guilt, of hatred and of attack, when all there is surrounding them is everlasting peace, forever conflict-free and undisturbed in deepest silence and tranquility? To know reality is not to see the ego and its thoughts, its works, its acts, its laws and its beliefs, its dreams, its hopes, its plans for its salvation and the cost belief in it entails. In suffering, the price for faith in it is so immense, that crucifixion of the sons and daughters of God are offered daily at its darkened shrine, and blood must flow before the altar where its sickly followers prepare to die. Yet while one lily of forgiveness change the darkness into light, the altar to illusions to the shrine of life itself, and peace will be restored forever to the holy minds which God created as his sons and daughters' dwelling place. Their joy, their love completely, his completely one, completely one with him. So that is what is the ego. And what a force we are reckoning with. That one identity that has taken on a life of its own, which obviously will come to death because it is running off in an illusion. And it has no clue as to why or what it's doing. It just is in fear constantly. It's creating more and more illusions. It's creating everybody around it as something to attack, to have a problem with, until it eventually fades away and then it's gone. And it's a very exhaustive way to live when you're living from that place within you that is always sort of pulling you in directions that you are not truly you're not coming from that place of truth, which is love, which is joy, which is endless happiness, And when we start offering, like it said, these lilies of forgiveness, it's like these lights. When we forgive everyone around us for how they are just dealing with that inner ego, Once you can see past those egos to the truth, that we're all this life-force energy that is eternal, that will go on forever and ever and ever. And we're here having an experience, which is to be loving and to change the world in that way by becoming that truth of who we are. So yes, the ego is fearful. When you're in fear, you know you're in the ego. when you're trying to grasp at something, you know you're in the ego. There's so many signs you can get when you are suffering. Ultimately, you're in the ego identity. So all you need to do to release that is to go to that still, quiet place within yourself where the joy resides, where you know everything is taken care of, and that side of you diminishes. And that is always there. That is always the case, to go into that present moment to release that. So remember that as we work through these 10 lessons. Okay, so let's move on to lesson 331. And the lesson today is, there is no conflict, for my will is yours. That's the key statement we'll keep in our minds today as we work through our day and just keep moving through the process of becoming true to this wonderful inner part of ourselves. So here we go. How foolish, Father, to believe your daughter could cause herself to suffer. Could she make a plan for her damnation and be left without a certain way to her release? You love me, Father. You could never leave me desolate to die within a world of pain and cruelty. How could I think that love has left itself? There is no will except the will of love. Fear is a dream and has no will that can conflict with yours. Conflict is sleep and peace awakening. Death is illusion, life eternal truth. There is no opposition to your will. There is no conflict, for my will is yours. Forgiveness shows us that God's will is one, and that we share it. Let us look upon the holy sights forgiveness shows today, that we may find the peace of God. Amen. So there is no conflict, for my will is yours. And like it said there, conflict is sleep and peace is awakening. That's the key in that lesson for me personally. The peace is when we're awake. The conflict is when we are in the illusion, in a sleepwalking way about the world. So we want to realize that there is no conflict. There is no conflict. It's not real. The only will that you really are is love. And that is peaceful. That just goes about its day knowing that all is well, all is taken care of, because you are part of that energy that is just beautifully guiding you through the world. So allow that to guide you today. Allow it just to take you by the arms almost. You can't see it with your eyes, but you can feel it wrapping itself around you and saying that everything is fine. You are taken care of. Stay with me. Stay present with me. Stay in this peaceful place, and you will be guided like a beautiful angel through this world, this experiential world. And the day will just flow for you when you trust in that, when you have faith in that, and when you have the willingness to really step into that tranquil, serene, peaceful place inside of you. Don't let the externals rock you. Know that within me is the guide of truth, the guide that is going to hold me, take me by the hand, and walk with me through this world. I'm never alone. I'm always taken care of. And the souls, the people around me, they are taken care of too. It's just we all need to share that love and light. Because the more we shine it out of ourselves, the more others will feel it. And it's like it has the knock-on effect so that we all awaken from the conflicts to the peace, to the awakened beings that we really are. And we really, really are that. So I wish you a peaceful, blissful day today. I hope it goes so beautifully flowing today, and that you feel that presence that is there, and I know you will tap into it. Okay, thank you for being here. Take care and enjoy your practice. Bye.